This is the life we chose, baby.
Oh yeah.
4 miles in. Did a half marathon. Yes. Got a raise. Guys, I got a raise. Went back to the OR. Time to get back to the OR. You want to do another 13 after this?
No.
Early mornings, weird hours, crazy shifts. That's anesthesia, baby. My new salary is going to be... Welcome back, vlog. Let's go run a half marathon. Good morning, Chippy. Hey, Bubba's.
Ready? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
Oh yeah, boys.
Oh yeah.
I drank mine already. Come here often.
Alright guys, what's the game plan?
So this is the start line.
We start crab walking here. Okay.
4 miles in.
Where are they?
Alright boys, 1 mile in.
Heck yeah.
Woo. 3 miles in, 10 more miles to go. 5 miles. All right, 7 miles in. Not too shabby, feeling pretty good. Past the halfway point, we got this.
Great job! Woo!
All right, we are at the beach. 11 miles in, 2 more to go, and then we're done with our first half marathon in San Diego. Doesn't get better than this, baby. How are you feeling, Eddie?
Good.
Yeah? You wanna do another 13 after this?
No.
Less than a mile away, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Thank you. Good job, Shannon. Good job, Eddie. Check out the bling, baby. Hey. There she is. Woohoo.
I got first.
You got first?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, she had so much time. She went home and
Yep.
came back.
In the house, please. Be right back with the rest, guys. Thank you.
Morning, guys. Happy Monday. Yesterday's half marathon was super fun. We did pretty well. It was Eddie and Shannon's first, and they absolutely crushed it. Still on a high, feeling a bit sore this morning, but nothing too terrible. I am back in the OR now for the next few weeks. So today might be a little rough trying to get back into the swing of things, but I think we got this. I have 5 cases today. They're all laparoscopic GI procedures. So hopefully I can get into a rhythm once the morning gets going. Let's have a good day. All right, I have 2 cases in, grabbing some lunch. Still trying to get back into the groove of things. All right, guys, I am done for the day. It's about 4:45. I know I didn't do much vlogging today, but as always, patient care residency comes first. This is always second. And today I really had to be extra locked in since it was my first day back in the OR in a while. And I just needed to like get into the groove of things. I definitely was dragging my feet this morning. I feel like I just kept forgetting to do little tasks. Anesthesia is such a task-oriented specialty. Like obviously there's a lot of like physiology and stuff you have to understand, but there's a lot of like hands-on tactical things that you have to do as well. And a lot of that really needs to be muscle memory. And after, over a month of not really doing it every day, I had to kind of get back into the groove of things today. Something interesting about today is one of my cases, the intubation was a little bit more difficult. We tried direct laryngoscopy, so with the blade, looking at the vocal cords, had a hard time seeing the cords. So then we grabbed what's called a glide scope, which is basically a blade that has a camera on the end that we can go in through the mouth with and visualize the vocal cords on a screen. And even when doing that, I had a hard time seeing the vocal cords, couldn't get a view. So then we did a fiber optic intubation, and that's basically a camera that we can guide into the mouth and we can actually control it. It kind of feels almost like a video game. You can control the camera and tilt it so it actually moves. So you can use it to essentially find the vocal cords, go in through the vocal cords, go all the way down into the lungs, basically right above where it starts to split into both sides, and then you're for sure in the lungs, right? So then you can pass a tube over the camera and get the airway. Really good learning opportunity for me. I haven't done that except for when we did it in our skills workshops, so that was really awesome. And it's also just good for you guys to know that as anesthesiologists, if we have difficulties, for example, getting your airway, we have a series of steps, algorithms that we can follow to escalate and eventually secure it and keep you guys safe under anesthesia. Anyway, like I said, it's almost 5 o'clock. I actually pre-opted for my cases already. I just grabbed a computer in our workroom because normally I do it when I go home, but I decided just to test out just staying here doing it so that when I go home I don't have to do it, because there's obviously way more friction to having to sit down and pre-op for cases once you get home. So I'm pretty happy that I did that, even though it's almost 5 o'clock. I think I'm gonna take today as a rest day since I literally ran a half marathon yesterday morning. So I'm gonna head home and relax, try to get a good night's sleep because tomorrow's gonna be a long day. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right guys, so I am home and I wanted to share something very exciting with you guys. So I actually got a raise. And it's not just me who got a raise, it's actually thousands of residents across the state of California. And this is because my program, as well as many of the other UC programs in California, are part of a resident union that advocates for things like resident wages, work conditions, hours, all that kind of stuff. So my salary when I started in July up until now has been about $89,311, I think. And the raise that we got was 5%. So my salary is going up to about $94,000 per year. So up until now, I've been getting about $5,500 per month of my paychecks. It'll go up to about $6,000 with this raise. And through our program, we also have a retirement account that we have to contribute to. We get about $500 per month going there as well. Oh, and then also with the next paycheck, we'll get $1,000 back pay. So that's gonna be really nice starting November 1st. I'll talk more about the benefits of being part of a resident union in a second, but for now, I wanna tell you about the sponsor of this week's vlog, Merit. Now, I've worked with Merit tons of times on the channel before, and I absolutely love working with them because I am a very big advocate for fair resident wages and work conditions. And Merit also really advocates for paying physicians and other healthcare workers fairly. Merit is a completely anonymous, community-powered, salary-sharing platform built by clinicians for clinicians. It's got over 13,000 real physician and APP salaries updated in real time as people add their own info. Now let me actually show you guys. So I can go to merithealth.com, and as you can see, there's a bunch of different specialties, but let's look up mine, anesthesiology. Now, as you can see, the average anesthesiologist salary in the United States is about $541,000 per year. But it's not just anesthesiologist salaries. They've got everyone from radiologists to pathologists, surgeons to family medicine doctors. And if you're a PA, and if you're an NP, PA, or a CRNA, you can also find salaries on here as well. And it's really good to know these numbers because one day I'm gonna have to sign my first attending contract, and I should have a pretty good idea of the job market when I do. As you can see, these salaries vary based on where you live in practice. And all of these salaries have extra data, for example, the average workload, responsibilities, average amount of hours per week, the call schedule, benefits, things like PTO, retirement, insurance, malpractice, which is all things you have to take into account when you're looking at your entire salary overall. I really like that Merit collects all this data because it's really hard to find this data elsewhere, and it's not really something you learn in medical school. They're really contributing to the salary transparency culture, which I think is really cool because, again, I'm very big about salary transparency, and it's something I've really tried to do with this YouTube channel. A lot of new grad residents and attendings tend to be a little bit more financially illiterate, And that's just because we spend so much time in school and don't necessarily have the energy to spend extra time learning these things or advocating for ourselves. And so that's another reason that I absolutely love what Merit's doing. If you're a physician, NP, PA, CRNA, I highly recommend you contribute your data to Merit. It's super quick, anonymous, and really helps increase salary transparency for everyone in the healthcare field. You guys can head to merithealth.com or click the link in my description to get started. Thank you so much again to Merit for sponsoring this week's vlog. So like I was saying, guys, I am part of a resident union, and that's why I was able to get this 5% pay raise. Our union goes to meetings every 2 weeks and has delegates from different specialties at my program and programs across the state of California as well. And because of that, they are able to advocate for fair pay, work conditions, all that kind of stuff for us. Because without a union, residents typically don't have the time or the energy or really the numbers to advocate for themselves. And so I'm really glad that my program is part of a union. Now, if you guys are applying to residency, I would highly recommend looking into whether or not your program is part of a union, because that could definitely increase your quality of life when you're in residency. Now, I'm pretty happy with my salary. $94,000 a year is actually pretty incredible. And most people would be very happy with earning that type of living. The thing with resident salaries that it really comes down to is the hours. It's never really been necessarily just the pay that residents complain about. It's the hours worked for that pay. When you're working the equivalent of 2 full-time jobs and you're earning what looks like 1 salary, it really makes it hard to justify that, right? So that's where a lot of the advocacy on fair wages and hour caps comes in. Hopefully this isn't my last pay raise while I'm a resident here in California, but even if it is, I have a much bigger salary to look forward to when I'm done my training, all thanks to Merit. Anyway, I just wanted to update you guys about my pay bump because it's super exciting and not something that happens very often for residents. So I wanted to share this really cool moment. For now, I am going to relax for the rest of the day. So I'll catch you guys. Morning guys, happy Tuesday. Today I'm the late resident, which means they can keep me for basically as long as they need me. Hopefully it's not too late, but the benefit is I get tomorrow off. Wish me luck. All right guys, so it's about 5:30 in the evening. I started my day off with a long robotic case, and then I did 3 cases under monitored anesthesia care, or MAC. So essentially we get the patients pretty sedated, but they're breathing on their own, and do that for things like colonoscopies, anorectal exams under anesthesia. Pretty interesting. It's a lot more simple than general anesthesia, but it's still something I haven't done a lot of. So I was just getting comfortable with that throughout the day. But anyway, like I said earlier, I'm the late resident, so I'm taking a little dinner break, which for me means just little cups of popcorn and some Sour Patch Kids. I'm trying not to have any like big meals today because I don't want to like crash. So I've just been having, you know, little bits of like popcorn, maybe a couple pieces of candy throughout the day, just to have like a continuous amount of energy. Because I noticed that when I have like a really big lunch or a really big dinner, I just get really sleepy after that, which makes sense. Insulin spikes, blood sugar falls, all that kind of stuff. I'm about to go check in with our board runner to see what cases are still going on and what room I need to go take over. And I'm basically just praying that I'm not here past midnight. I'll take 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock. I'd be still pretty happy, I think, if I got out by 10, but if we hit midnight, I'm gonna be sleepy. Wish me luck. Yo, I am done. So it's actually only 8 o'clock. I took over a case and then I started another one after that. And then the night anesthesiologist came in to relieve me because there were no other cases going on, which is super lucky. 8 p.m. is crazy early to get relieved as the late resident, because a lot of the times you'll end up staying till like midnight. I've heard even as late as 3 a.m. So that's absolutely nuts. The best part is that I'm off tomorrow because they can't schedule me to be the late resident and make me work the next day, because if I ended up staying, for example, until 11, then there wouldn't be 10 hours between when I was last in the hospital and when I was coming back. So it would violate duty hours. So basically they have to give me tomorrow off, which is amazing. And I'm gonna go home, eat some food, play some video games until whatever time I want, and sleep in the morning. See you guys later. You! Morning guys, happy Thursday. Yesterday was my day off. Honestly, I didn't really do much with it besides go tumbling last night and pretty much just spent the rest of the day lounging at home. Sometimes I get torn about having really adventurous, productive days off versus just a relaxing day off. And yesterday I just felt like doing nothing. Anyway, we've got a few cases today. I am the second late resident, so I don't know what time I'll get to go home. I won't be the last resident to get relief to go home, but second late can still stay pretty late. Downside is I don't have tomorrow off when I'm second late, so hopefully I'm not here super late today. As always, let's have a good day. All right, I'm close to the end of my day, I think. It's like 3:45 p.m. Again, I'm second late. Don't really know how long I'm gonna stay, but my cases have been going well so far. A lot of learning opportunities, which I'll talk more about later. But I wanna show you guys, we got like a new little resident room. This is pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. Still working on furniture and getting bookshelves and stuff. But what's cool is someone has been stocking this with little snacks every single day. Whoever is doing that, I appreciate you. All right, time to get back to the OR. All right, guys, I am finally done for the day. Dude, it's like 8 p.m. and this is pretty much when I left the other night when I was first late. But what's cheeks about being second late is that I don't get tomorrow off. I still have to go home and pre-op my cases for tomorrow with my attending and then wake up at 5:30 a.m. to come to the hospital. But you know what? This is the life we chose, baby. Although I will say it is hard to have that mentality when you're leaving the hospital after being here for 14 hours and having to be back in less than 10 hours. But there's always a silver lining, and today's silver lining is that it was a great day overall. Like a really good day. Like, I had some pretty complicated cases. I had a Whipple procedure, which is done for patients who have masses on their pancreas. And those are big cases. I was a little bit nervous about it. I haven't done one of those, and it went really well. And then I had another complicated case after where I had to do my first fiber optic nasal intubation. So that was really cool and it went really well. And then after that I did another case pretty much completely by myself. Honestly, obviously I had my attending as always because I'm a resident, but that case went really well too. So overall it was a really good day. Like, I felt very competent, things went really well. So that's my silver lining. That's my optimism for the day. Also, on 3 different occasions today, people stopped me and said that they have seen my vlogs or TikToks. 2 of them were medical students, I believe, and then one was someone who actually works in the ORs here. So that was really cool. You always kind of forget that some of the people who watch your content are very close by. So close by that they might actually be your coworkers. Anyway, I'm tired, so I'm gonna head home and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Morning guys, happy Friday. Last day of the week. We've got a GI lineup today. Bunch of laparoscopic colon resections. Hoping for a smooth day. I'm not the first late resident today. I'm not the second late resident today. So hopefully I'm not here till super late and can enjoy this Friday because tomorrow's my only day off before I go in for a 24-hour call on Sunday. Early mornings, weird hours, crazy shifts. That's anesthesia, baby. Let's have a good day. Yo, I'm free. Let me get to the car and we'll debrief and end off this vlog. All right guys, like I said, I'm done for the day. Dude, it's like 5:30. I'm actually very surprised I'm here that late, but that's how anesthesiology goes, baby. Today was actually kind of cool. I had a medical student for the first time as an anesthesia resident, and sometimes you don't really know how much you've learned and how much you've progressed until you have to teach someone else. And I kind of realized while I was talking to my medical student about some of the things we do in anesthesia, some physiology, helping her work through our intubations and lines that we were placing today, that I actually have learned a lot. And again, when you're by yourself and you're stressed and tired and you don't feel like you're actually making progress, you can kind of forget that. And so today was really a good reminder of that. And I actually felt quite competent today, actually all week. I feel like things went well for me from an anesthesia resident perspective. I felt like I got through all my cases just fine. I learned a lot, saw a lot. And so it was a good week overall. It's my first week back in like 6 weeks. So I was really nervous going into it. And it's just as exhausting as I thought it was going to be. I really had a good past month and a half, really good work hours. And now I'm back on that OR grind, which is pretty rough, and we're just gonna get through it a week at a time. I have tomorrow off, and then I am back Sunday for a 24-hour OR call. So not really a weekend, but I'll get tomorrow off and I'll get Monday post call, which isn't really a day off because I still have to pre-op later that day and then go back to work Tuesday. So it's gonna be a rough week and a half, but then I have a week of vacation after. So I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, big things this vlog. Did a half marathon, got a raise, went back to the OR. Pretty big week overall. But I need to edit this vlog sometime between tonight and tomorrow night. So I am going to end it here. But as always, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in another week in residency, and I will see you guys next time.